This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the DCC has unveiled the banner to replace last year's controversial Happy Holidays greeting on the city Christmas tree. After seeing the devastation of last year's Port Hills fires, landowners are keen to reduce fire risk. And riders have embarked on the third stage of the Pioneer Mountain Bike Race around central Otago. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. The Dunedin City Council says it won't be reusing the controversial Happy Holidays greeting on the city Christmas tree. They've been given the green light from representatives of the different religions present in Dunedin to display a more traditional greeting.
Unveiling the City Council's Christmas message for Dunedin residents. Gone is last year's controversial Happy Holidays greeting on the 10-metre tall tree in the Octagon, and in its place a multilingual Merry Christmas alongside peace on earth and goodwill to all. Community Events Coordinator Marilyn Anderson says they found a positive solution.
Our senior staff have worked with the Interfaith Council and the Multi-Ethnic Council of Dunedin, and they've come up with a theory that the three official languages will be represented on the wrap. So we're looking at English, Maori and sign language.
Last year's secular Happy Holidays decorative wrap was used, but it was changed after it was vandalised. The council also received complaints from people who felt the Christmas message had been lost. Anderson says the consultation period has been lengthy.
But it was a long process, but very worthwhile because we've got this lovely wrap behind us.
The council says there are a host of events around the central city in the week ahead, beginning on Friday night.
We've got a lovely concert planned for Friday evening, starting at 8 o'clock. And we've got choirs, we've got children, we've got lovely entertainment, and we'll light the tree for about the first time around about 9:30 p.m.
Anderson says there'll also be a family concert featuring a host of Dunedin musicians in the Octagon on Sunday, right at the end of the Santa Parade. In Dunedin, The South Today.
The man who died following a fall down the stairway entrance of a Dunedin bar on Saturday had been released from police custody earlier in the night. Sources close to the investigation have told the Otago Daily Times the retired Dunedin man was released from the cells at Dunedin Central Police Station. Just hours later, he fell down the stairs and died at Carousel Lounge Bar in Lower Stewart Street. He was named yesterday as 68-year-old Dennis Llewellyn Williams. The police inquiry into his death concluded it wasn't suspicious, and the case has been referred to the coroner. After seeing the devastation of last year's Port Hills fires, landowners are now factoring in what precautions can be taken to reduce fire risk. With a large amount of vegetation and urban sprawl now on the hill, Fire and Emergency New Zealand are urging landowners to do whatever they can to prevent possible disaster. CTV's Gordon Finn later reports.
It's been 18 months since last year's Port Hills fires were extinguished. You'd find it hard to guess that this now thriving hillside was once burnt to a crisp.
It's just astounding how it's regrown, really. There's just so little area with no herbage on it.
Daniel Van Ash owns this piece of land at the start of Kennedy's Bush Track.
A number of the residents told me that they thought they'd never see their houses again. They were extremely concerned, but there was nothing they could do about it. The fire was travelling so fast. The helicopters arrived and quelled the fire literally within metres of the houses at Quarry Hill.
Another major fire on the Port Hills will happen. That's been the stark warning from agricultural expert Derek Moot, who says the vegetation on the hills is a power keg. With an ever-increasing urban spill onto the hills, the risks and fuels in the area have changed dramatically over time.
We've put people in the way of where these fires burn. What that's also meant is we've changed the fuel types and fuel loadings. So Whereas we had a lot of grazed pasture, we've now got a lot of less grazing, a lot of gardens, a lot of exotic weed species and other plants, all of which tend to grow and burn better than some of our natives do. That's meant that we've got a higher fuel loading and therefore the potential of having some significant fires has increased.
My farm on the edge of town it's an active working farm, a sheep and beef farm. Some areas are grazed harder than others, or more or less than others, and we think about a whole mix of things when we do that. And we have a thought about what's next to the urban boundary, and we try and take account of that now with what we do. It's not the only thing we take account of, but it's one of the things.
That consciousness of the possible event of another major fire, something that could be the difference between properties being lost and saved.
One of the things that we do on larger fires is obviously putting fire breaks in, but it is amazing what something that's already there can do. As simple as a small road, a driveway can act as a fire break.
And while significant recent rainfall means this land is a picture postcard now, the heavy growth that comes with a wet spring can ring alarm bells.
A couple of months' time, a lot of this will be very brown and very dry, and in that February, a couple of years ago, that's exactly what happened to season, just like this. A lot of a very good spring and early summer, quite damp, lots of herbage growth, then it dried off, and then we had a series of nor'westerly winds which absolutely turned it to tinder, and then kaboom, it was all on.
If Port Hills landowners want more information on reducing fire risks, they can visit fireandemergency.nz. Gordon Findlater, CTV News.
Petrol prices may have fallen, but fuel thefts continue to plague the south. Police say a Nissan work ute on a property in Outram was drained of 150 litres of diesel on Saturday or Sunday. Earlier this month, a daytime fuel thief was caught red-handed by a vigilant Tairi Kaukoki allegedly trying to empty fuel tanks on a Momona property. 5 thefts since September have involved fuel being stolen from tanks on southern rural properties, while 2 diggers in Milton were also targeted last month. Riders have embarked on the 3rd stage of the Pioneer mountain bike race around central Otago. The event has shifted to Alexandra after stages at Coronet Peak and Queenstown, with organisers singing the praises of Molyneux Park.
An early morning start for riders in the 3rd annual Pioneer mountain bike race. Stage 3 of the 6-day event sees competitors cover over 100 kilometres and climbing more than 2,500 metres. After the prologue at Coronet Peak and a stage in Queenstown yesterday, the events moved on to Alexandra.
Molyneux Park's actually a really great space for us to work in because it's really nice grass, it's nice and flat, it's in a really stunning area, so it's got that really great combination of people being able to relax but also close to amazing trails.
And that's what this event is all about, teams of 2 competing on some of the South Island's most pristine high country.
We've got just under 600 riders this year, and almost 50% of those are from overseas, so it's a great opportunity to showcase parts of New Zealand that people wouldn't necessarily come to.
The race village at Molyneux Park will be a welcome sight for riders after today's racing, complete with social zone and accommodation.
We have what we call Tent City, where the teams put up 735 Marmot tents for the riders and our crew. They'll be sleeping in those for the next 2 nights.
The event moves on to Bannockburn next before finishing back in Queenstown on Friday and Alexandra the South today.
Still to come on the South today, a popular movie theme helps introduce orchestral music to a new generation, and an exhibition at Otago Polytechnic's Dunedin School of Art showcases the work of its future stars of the art world.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
It's always really satisfying when a customer comes back after doing a purchase of outdoor furniture and knowing that we've got it done right.
Spring is here and it's time to get in the garden. Ready Lawn will take care of your lawn needs, making lawn care a snap. They will install the perfect lawn while you plant your favourite flowers and vegetables. Call Ready Lawn today so you can enjoy the coming season. Get on down to Alex Campbell Menswear for the November shirt sale. That's buy one shirt, get one free. You heard right. Buy one shirt, get one free to the same or lesser value. That's the November shirt sale only on at
Alex Campbell Menswear. It fits.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274. Petrol prices getting you down? Keep the smile on your dial with an e-bike grin from Electrify NZ on Cumberland Street. For an average $2,000 savings per year, why wouldn't you? Book a test ride today.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
It's that time of year. It's time to get into the garden and it's time to get your weed eater. Down here at the Power Garden Department at Andersons Bay Road, this year it's all about the cordless weed eater. Come down and see us at Mitre 10 Mega and we'll help you get it done right.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Welcome back. Latest Paymark figures show Kiwis spent $442 million over the Black Friday weekend, up more than 85% on last year. On the Friday alone, New Zealanders spent nearly $70 million at non-food retail shops, an increase of more than 50% on a typical Friday. It also surpassed the $68 million spent on Boxing Day last year. Getting young people to enjoy orchestral music these days may seem like an impossible mission, but it's a theme from Mission Impossible which instantly caught the attention of Balmecuen intermediate pupils when members of Dunedin Symphony Orchestra performed at their school. Members of the orchestra are touring schools around the Otago region this week as part of an outreach program. The program aims to introduce pupils to music and orchestral instruments. All four sections of the orchestra were represented, playing some well-known and some not so familiar pieces. They say it's beneficial for young people to see modern music, and it can be played live and on instruments that many associate with only the classical repertoire. They say it's also great for pupils to experience the unique atmosphere of a live performance. The annual end of year student art exhibition is on again at the Otago Polytechnic's Dunedin School of Art. The exhibition is open to the public who also have the opportunity of purchasing the works on display.
Artworks designed to make the public think about social issues. The annual end-of-year exhibition sees several rooms at the School of Art transformed into an art gallery, showcasing works by students who could well become tomorrow's leading artists. Rachel O'Connell's artwork takes up a wall with small items of jewellery acting as ornaments around a story about a friend of hers who suffered an anxiety attack in a supermarket. She says art can be used as a way of getting a message out to the public.
I really just wanted to put people's experiences out there this year and just to start conversation and create more awareness and understanding and empathy of what people go through.
One of the items of jewellery she created for the exhibition represents a turnstile and the potential anxiety of being in a crowded supermarket.
There's lots of people, there's lots of pressure, and you know you've got those, like the things like the turnstile, it's this crazy mechanism that funnels people through and locks you in, you know, it's creating that sort of pressure environment, and They're strange places, yeah.
O'Connell had a secure job as a maths teacher, but gave it up to pursue a graduate diploma in fine art.
I wanted just to have a break from teaching and do something different for a little bit, and I will go back to it for sure, but I think it's so valuable for teachers to have other experiences and to get out of the profession every now and then, and I'm lucky that I had the opportunity to do it.
The exhibition features all manner of visual arts created by the students over the course of the year and gives the opportunity to showcase their work to the public.
This exhibition is for the end of your degree, so you've got to do it. And it's an amazing opportunity to put yourself out there, to put your work out there, and to learn how to create an exhibition. Like, there's just so much that goes into it. There's so much, and you learn to work with lots of different people through the process as well. And then the process of exhibiting is such a great experience through all the conversations that come from it.
The exhibition will be open every afternoon until Thursday, plus a late night on Wednesday. In Dunedin, for the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, Queenstown finally gets to host its first Polo Silver Cup tournament, and we have tomorrow's weather for you, so stay with us.
I just like it. It's something that you can see the fruits of your own labour. You put it right now, you don't have as much to do at Christmas. You come see me, Derek, in the garden department, and then we get it done right.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garrador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren, his Garrador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Active Interior Design in Mornington are the curtain and blind experts. The team can even advise you on outdoor products and will ensure that everything is perfect. For interior design with flair, call Active to book your free in-home consultation or call into the showroom in Mornington. If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Hello, it's Jeremy down here at Mitre 10 Mega in Andersons Bay. We've got 35 different lawnmowers down in our power garden department. We've got ride-on mowers, petrol mowers, battery operated mowers, push mowers. Did you know we've even got a robot, a little robot lawnmower that pops out during the day when you're at work or play. It'll pop out and mow your lawn. So come down and see me, Jeremy, down in the power garden department at Mitre 10 Mega in Andersons Bay Road, where we'll help you get it done right first time.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
Get on down to Alex Campbell Menswear for the November shirt sale. That's buy one shirt, get one free. You heard right. Buy one shirt, get one free to the same or lesser value. That's the November shirt sale only on at
Alex Campbell Menswear. It fits.
Petrol prices getting you down? Keep the smile on your dial with an e-bike grin from Electrify NZ on Cumberland Street. For an average $2,000 savings per year, why wouldn't you? Book a test ride today.
Thanks for staying with us. A 23-year-old Oamaru woman has been arrested and charged in relation to an alleged knife-point theft of a four-wheel drive vehicle 2 weeks ago. Oamaru police were called to the incident following a report of a stolen vehicle and said at the time the woman they say who had taken the vehicle at knife point had been a passenger at the time. She was arrested in Geraldine late last week and charged with aggravated robbery, driving while disqualified, dangerous driving and possession of an offensive weapon. The weather may have not played ball, but there was still plenty of action as Queenstown Polo hosted its first Silver Cup tournament over the weekend. The tournament, held at Mulligan's Road facility, has been several years in the making.
Teams from afar afield as Sydney, Auckland and Christchurch joining local riders as Queenstown Polo hosted its first Silver Cup tournament over the weekend.
It's been a few years in the making, amazing support from so many people locally, but also obviously all the players who have come down and travelled so far with ponies, sometimes 8 hours of travelling the truck.
And despite the wet conditions, it didn't stop the teams from taking the field.
Well, it's not the most ideal polo weather, but it's an outdoor sports event, so we play on. Horses are used to playing in these kind of conditions. Certainly this is like an English summer, so you know, there's no reason to not play.
The rules are simple in polo. Players on horses score goals by driving a small ball into the opposing team's goal using a long-handled mallet. Games last about 2 hours and are divided into periods called chukkers. Gabler says they've had great support from the local community.
It's really just so fantastic to see the game of polo out, being played, and for people to be coming along and having a look. Hopefully the first of many fun tournaments to come.
A good crowd turned out despite the rain, taking shelter under the large marquee while the players braved the elements. In Queenstown, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The Dunedin City Council says it won't be reusing the controversial Happy Holidays greeting around the base of the city's Christmas tree. After last year's devastating Port Hills fires, landowners are now factoring in what precautions can be taken to reduce fire risk. And riders have embarked on the third stage of the Pioneer Mountain Bike Race around central Otago, with organisers praising the terrain. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig Page. What have you got for us in tomorrow's paper?
Good evening. Plenty of reading for a Wednesday. We've got an interesting story about the number of traffic infringement notices which have been issued to cyclists in the region in recent years. They can be issued for not wearing helmets and lights and riding 2 or 3 more abreast. They've dropped dramatically in the past 5 years. There was more than 800. Back in 2013 and only 150 last year. We asked police about this and they said that serious incidents involving cyclists are relatively low, so their focus is now on motorists and they're basically ignoring a lot of what the cyclists get on. Given the tension around the city at the moment with the cyclists and cycle lanes, it might be something they look at revisiting down the track. We've also got a bit of follow on from the weather as well. Bit of a sad story out of the Orokonui Eco Sanctuary with 2 of the Takahe chicks dying last week in the flooding. Apparently,
that's not good at all.
No, they were only born 2 weeks ago, wandered out of the nest in the rain, got wet and died. Staff obviously upset, only 150 of these birds in the world at the moment. So, but it's interesting in that they have a policy of not interfering in these types of situations and going and helping the birds. They let Mother Nature take its course. So, yeah, really sad all round.
It's been a subject of big debate though, hasn't it, with those penguins, because there are actually some ones that helped out those penguins.
Yes, they have, which was really unusual for them to do that. But I can kind of see both sides of the fence in that respect, I guess. On our fresh pages, we've also got a guide to surviving the festive season. Dee Copeland, a local naturopath and nutritionist, gives us some tips there. Important to get out and socialise and enjoy this time of the year, but it's about all things in moderation, including alcohol. So bear that in mind.
I'll watch my wines.
And the key is to get some exercise done during the day when you can as well. So yeah, something there for everyone. And looking sport, we look ahead to Saturday's one-day cricket final featuring Otago in Dunedin. Auckland and Wellington play tomorrow, who will determine who we're going to play. But the big problem, of course, has been the weather with pitch preparations. We talked to the University Oval groundsman who's fairly new to the job and said it's been a tough task with lack of sun trying to get that ground into scratch.
Yeah, there's been a few grounds that have really sort of suffered from this heavy rain, and Weather's still a bit touch and go.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've had the worst rain for November for about 100 years in parts of Dunedin. So it's going to be a challenge, and they're definitely looking for some sun in the next couple of days to try and dry that pitch out and get an Otago win as well would be nice.
That would be fantastic. And you can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's city views of members of Otago setting up in front of Dunedin's Christmas tree. Looking at the situation, some more days of easterly airflow in the pipeline with mild temperatures and sunny periods inland, but rather cloudy and breezy still along the Otago coast. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect cloudy skies and pleasant highs of 23 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson has a few showers and 22, showers also for you in Blenheim, but you're looking at a high of 18. And to wet weather in Canterbury, another showery day for Kaikoura with a top of 15 degrees. Damp weather for Ashburton and 13 degrees. Christchurch, you don't escape the wet either, and you're looking at a high of 14. Looking at the southern towns, Catlins, Balclutha, Gore and Lumsden, moderate northeasterly, some cloud and highs of 17 to 19 degrees. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes area, light easterly, some cloud across this region. Wanaka, you're heading for a high of 18, and Queenstown and Tiana, you could reach 19 degrees, and while Alexandra, you're due for a high of 15. Looking at the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru, fresh northeasterlies, some drizzle and 14 degrees. Twizel and Amarama are both looking at light easterlies, cloudy skies and a high of 18. And in Dunedin, cloudy tonight with some drizzle patches and an overnight low of 10. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 14 and a low of 11. Looking to Thursday, cloud breaks with some sunny periods at times by day with a high of 13 and a 10-degree low predicted. And in Invercargill, fine tonight with an overnight low of 10. A mild day tomorrow looking at a high of 20 and a low of half of that, of 10. Looking to Thursday, expect sunny periods and high cloud with moderate northeasterlies, a high of 21 and a low of 10. And that wraps up our news for this Tuesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz or channel39.co.nz and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.